Hi, how are you? I'm fine. I would like to tell you something about the last piece that I recorded and upload. The Pavan is written Pavan because in the Latin the U was a V, the V the victory. So they wrote V and it was pronounced U, wir. And so in this period there was a little confusion. Probably the exact definition is that in a Roman period it doesn't exist the U, exists only the V. Wir, we say now. And so these people was studying Latin, of course, in this period for the church music. And then they make some confusion between U and V. But this music, what is interesting for us musicians, is that this music is written at 5 voices. We name voices also if there is no one that is singing, but the ancient name is voice because the early music was only 4 voices. And after the instrument played the voice part, and then after they have written music specific for instrument like this, but the name remain. And look at the name of these voices. There is a tenor that was in the early music that was the first melody that was written. Then a bassus, but sometimes you have the name of this voice is contra tenor bassus, something again or with the tenor but bassus, and then altus contra tenor altus, up altus basso down, and then the higher part is cantus. This derive, I think, the name discantus, descant, and the 5th voice, the second line, has no name, so it's named quintus. You are the 5th man. You are not cantus, not altus, not tenor, not bassus. You are just the man or the woman number 5, quintus. Good. As you can see, the 5 melodies are different in note and different in melody. Listen, for example, the bass part. As you can see, there is long note. The first is D. Is not the name of this note is maxima. The second is a G, and then we have 2 semi-breve, 2 white note, A and A. We will listen. Okay, and now we will listen the tenor that start with A. Etc. And now, just for helping you to listen 2 voices together, we will listen tenor and basso. Etc. Now we will listen the 3rd voice, altus. As you can see, is the more complicated for rhythmical reason. For this reason, I recorded first the alto, having in my headphone the metronome for not changing the speed. And after listening the alto, I recorded the basso. Listening both, I recorded the tenor, and after the quintus, and last in video and audio to the cantus. We will listen these altus. Okay, what is interesting is that start with F natural, but the third note is F sharp. This has when you change from D minor on D major. In this period they was not speaking about D minor, D major, but they have the sensibility about this change. Now we will listen just for exercise for the listener, because it's not easy to follow 5 voice, not impossible, but before you have to practice to follow 2 voice. We will listen the altus, the third, and the bassus, the last, the lower. Okay, and now we will listen the altus and the tenor. This voice has a similar range. So for example, the note number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 from the tenor is an E, and if you check when the tenor make E, also the alto make E, and this is the name is unisono, and it's very difficult in a group when 2 instruments play the same note, because it's very rare that the same note will be perfectly in tune. And recording, making this self-quintet as I did, recording one voice after the other, is more difficult, because you cannot practice the 2 instruments together because you are alone. You will listen the altos and the tenor. Etc. And now the 3 lower voice together, altus, tenor and bass. The exercise is not to read all, but just to follow these like 3 drawing, like 3 diagrams, 3 melodies. Etc. It's not easy at the beginning. Now we will stop these 3 voices and we will listen the quintus. The quintus, it seems lower than the alto. For example, the quinto starts with A, and this note A seems lower from the F of the altus. But attention, check the keys. Altus and tenor has a violin key, G key, but with 8 written above. So down, this is an octave lower. So the F, the first note of the altus is F, is an octave lower, so it is lower than the first note of the quintus. The quintus, I played it with an alto recorder, but this is a complicated thing. I had to play 1 octave higher, because the recorder plays an octave higher, but this is a long speech. It's not the question now. Quintus. Boom, good. And what are these little signes? For example, after 5 notes of the quintus, there is a small thing. This was the bar line, but it's not really a bar line, because if you put really a bar line, you have, for example, for the cantus, the re, the D of the cantus start before the bar line but continue after the bar line. So in this period the music was written without bar line. We modern musicians, we are used to that help us to have the bar line. So the man that published very good this music, I don't remember his name, put this small bar line, so you will be no lost, but you have not to cut the note before and after the bar line. Now we will listen the quintus and the altus, and we will see what happened. Okay, and now the quintus and the tenor. No, and the basso. Quintus and bassus. But the bassus is very easy. It's more easy to follow the top and the lower voice, because they play, we can say, alone. They are not confusion. It's very difficult to follow the part and the voice in the middle, quintus, altus, tenor, because they are mixed. They are in the center of this harmony. And so I suggest you, just for practicing the lecture of polyphony, to try to follow good the cantus and the bassus, and when you are able to follow this voice, you can follow also the other. But now we will see quintus and bassus. Okay, and now quintus and tenor. We will see. Now I see. It could be that after the long B flat, it could be, probably is, I did a mistake, I think. After the long B flat, the other B is B natural. It's not sure, but it's probably this, with a change from G minor to G major. Because it seems, no, we are not sure of this, but it's probably this. Now we will listen. Three voices together. Quintus, altus and tenor. So it will be these three voices. Quintus, altus and tenor. Okay, and now four voices, all without the cantus. I'm not sure if this B is B flat or B natural. It seems not bad. Now we stop this for lower voice and we will follow the soprano. I'm sorry, I had to make the opposite. This. No, oh, I'm not so able with computer. The cantus. The cantus make the melody, and the melody of this piece is the melody of Love, my dear, to, just the first four notes. Okay, now we listen the cantus and quintus. Now with the altus. Cantus, quintus, altus. It's more easy to follow the movement than the note that remain very long. So we can easily follow the eighths, for example, the quaver. Tu-du-dum from the soprano, tu-du-dum from the cantus, and then tu-du-dum from the altos, and then from the quintus, and then 4/8 from the tenor. This is more easy to follow this. We will put also the tenor, so all the voice without bass. Okay, and now all the five voices. I can follow all the note of all the five voices, but I know that is not easy. Probably something that could help if you have to play these five voices together. For example, an organist could play with some difficulty, but it's not impossible. This is five voices together. So for playing them, you have to read them. And when you read five voices, you are able to read them also if you're not to play. But probably because I've been many years teacher in ensemble, director of ensemble, I can follow the five lines and see if there is something wrong, some mistake or something else. We will listen. The piece is each line, each stuff, each played 2 times, and in the repetition, in the ritornello, I did some division, diminuzioni. So in the cantos, in a normal group you can make division for each line, but in self duo, self quintet like this, I decided to make very few things in the other voice and to make divisions only, especially in the cantus. We will listen these first stuff played 2 times. Last note. Okay, this was the first line. It's really a pleasure to play a quintet. Of course, it's better if there are 5 musicians, not if you are alone. But this music has been written for the pleasure to make ensemble, chamber music. There was two kind of concert, a concert group in which there was the same instrument in different shape, for example, viola da gamba bassus, viola da gamba tenor, viola da gamba altus, viola da gamba altus, viola da gamba descant, or a recorder, bassus, tenor, tenor, altus, or broken concert in which you have different instruments, for example, bass flute renaissance, a bass viol, a pandora, a lute, a cantus, descant viol. This was a broken concert. Okay, I hope it's been useful. Bye bye.